So these are the Artem straps, and this is my Zenith strap. I will be doing a bit of a comparison between them, although they actually are quite different. I thought they'd be more similar than they are. Before we do that, I'm just going to pop over to the website. I'm just going to walk through the website, straps, the clasp, offerings. So when we start to review the actual straps, that's all a bit clearer because there's actually quite a lot you can do. So we'll cut to that now, and then we'll come back and actually talk about the straps in more detail. Right, now so a look at Artem's Sailcloths, which, yeah, they're fantastic. So again, seeing the website, I kind of showed this in the review I did of the NATO straps. But what's really cool is if you go to the about and then frequently asked questions, they're actually very open about what their sailcloths are made from. All the research that went into actually making them, the history of the sailcloth, the production of it, like I say, all the materials used in it. So it's very transparent, which is all you can really ask for, because lots of people won't know what the sailcloth is, and obviously what Artem have done to create theirs. And then if you go to sailcloth straps, you can see they've got two different kinds. I'll be talking about this more in my video, but you've got the loopless or basically keeperless straps. And you've got various different colours. So you've got blue with white stitch, black with white stitch. But then you've also got the original ones that they had, which I've also got here to review, which come with a pin and buckle, but you can actually order different clasps, which we'll come on to in a moment as well. But you can see you've got green, blue, white, white stitch, black, and so on. And then you've got some Panerai equivalent ones. So what you'll notice is they kind of take their inspiration from other brands and then produced a very high quality product based on that brand. So these loopless ones are the equivalent to the Omega ones, and then the ones with loops or keepers are the equivalent to Blancpain or Blancpain, depending on how posh you want to be about it. They're sailcloth straps. So if you go back to here and go accessories, you can see here you go, you've got Richard Mille style clasps, Omega style clasps, and this one here is very similar to the one I have on my Zenith, but I didn't want this clasp because it's only high polish, and I actually wanted PVD or DLC coated clasps. So you can see they've got a mix. You've got this one, which is DLC. I don't actually have that one, unfortunately. And then you've got this one, which is PVD, which I do have. So you can order these at additional cost. There you go, you can even get a PVD buckle as well. And you can see the pricing there. So ranging from £20 all the way up to, what was it, £66 for the DLC Omega style one. Strap changing tools. And then the other thing you can do, all different spring bars as well. You can also order quick release spring bars. So if I go back to the sailcloths, click into one of these. You can choose the different strap sizes, so 19, 20, 21, 22 millimeters. And then you can choose quick release spring bars for another £11. So yeah, all pretty cool. And as I said on my previous video, a very good and easy and intuitive website to use. Okay, so as you can see, you can actually configure your strap in a number of different ways. Pin buckle, PVD, DLC, loopless, with loops. There's all sorts of stuff you can do, which is great. It gives you a huge amount of flexibility depending on the style that you actually want for your particular watch. So we're going to look at, first of all, we'll look at this one. So there's one clasp I didn't get, and I did mention that, and that's very similar to this one. But my favorite clasp by far of the two here is this RM, which I'm assuming is Richard Mille or Richard Mille, depending on who you are and how posh you want to be. Probably said that earlier. And I've never seen anything like this before, and it has a nice thin profile, and it's spring loaded. So it has a leaf spring in it here, and when you apply pressure to it, the strap snaps closed. And it's very easy to use. It's very comfortable. The curvature here conforms nicely to your wrist. This is what I've been wearing mine on for the last 4 or 5 days. It's actually, or maybe a bit longer than that now, it's actually, I've got the PVD or DLC one, I'll show you in a moment. But it's a very nice system to use. It really is, and it actually feels quite premium. And that I'll come on to again, which is why I kind of prefer this to the other one. The finishing on it is good. Also got my grubby hands over it. Hang on a sec. So you can see it's high polish on the top, and then it's brushed on the sides. Again, they could probably just slightly improve the quality of the finishing. But it is a nice clasp, and it is well finished. So if you open it up, again, you'll see a mixture of brushing and polishing. You can see it all the way through. And I think because, I don't know why it feels better than the other one, but I like this one a lot. And again, I'll take mine off in a minute and show you it on my actual watch. The strap itself is really very nice. They say on top it's a synthetic material, but don't state what that synthetic material is. It's very hardy. You can hear that. It's extremely water resistant. It's very comfortable. So this bit down the bottom is very flexible. You can see it's very thin. And as you start to get to the top, it's more heavily bolstered. And this bit is considerably thicker. And when you're wearing the watch, this is the bit that takes that bit longer to conform to the size of your shape of your wrist. So what you tend to do is wear it, have it on a watch pillow or something like that overnight to help it conform to the shape of your wrist. It takes about 2 days of wearing it and then having it overnight. There's some nice subtle branding on the inside. As you can see, the stitching is really, really good. There's no lifting of the material at all. It's all very, very, very well put together. Even on my Zenith strap, where it was glued at the end, it lifted a bit and I had to get a knife out and just cut a little bit where it was lifting away. So you don't get any of that on this. It is an exceptionally well-made strap, I have to say. Again, if you look at the keepers, it's got a very nice tight stitch on it. And it's just very well put together and feels like a really solid strap. It's very well done indeed. If you wanted that on the pin buckle, again, it's really nicely finished. It's brushed on the side with a chamfer on the top, and then brushed on top again with a very discreet logo. So a really nice pin buckle as well, to be honest with you, if that's what you wanted to wear it on. Now, when you come onto these straps, I will actually just say, if you look at images of the Sailcloth straps from, oh blimey, who did I say it was? It'll come back to me. You'll see that there's quite a heavy kind of bulge in the middle where all the padding is, and that is very reminiscent of the Sailcloth straps that these take their inspiration from. Blancpain, there you go, got there in the end. So it's a very specific style, whereas if you look at the Zenith, it's considerably flatter. You don't have that kind of bulge in the middle. It doesn't really make a difference. Maybe you'll like that, maybe you won't. I do like the fact it has quick release spring bars. I did get that on all of mine. I will talk about a drawback to that in a moment, but if you're changing straps, it's nice not to have to use your tools. I appreciate you might have to use tools to get the old strap off, but to put these on is very easy, and they're very nice to use. They feel pretty solid and they're easy to use. So again, a nice positive there. These ones are effectively the Omega style straps. So very, very similar construction, really well made, very nice rubber underside, very soft, very comfortable on the skin. All of these straps are waterproof. It says it's leather and then covered in natural rubber. I'm assuming the leather, why would you put leather inside? So it's a synthetic material on top. There's some padding in the middle, and then there's some leather, and then it says it's covered in natural rubber, which is this side. So I'm not sure where the leather comes into this, but what you will see again is the construction of the strap is absolutely incredible, really. I appreciate this isn't a cheap strap. It's like 70, 80 quid for this strap, but the stitching and everything that goes into that is fantastic. You've got the rubber bit on top, which will offer greater protection in terms of longevity for the where the pin goes there. But to be honest with you, on the other ones, I think you're fine as well. I think more than anything, it's probably aesthetic as opposed to functional. The clasp is nice. I've not handled the Omega equivalent of this, but from the reviews I have seen, the Omega is better finished and has slightly better tolerances. But again, you will see there's a mixture of polishing on the edges here. Now I've just smudged it. And there's also brushing with a nice discreet logo, and you've even got a chamfered edge there as well. So again, it's nicely finished. It feels nice to me. It's one of the nicest aftermarket clasps I've had. It's way nicer than what I had on my Zelos, way nicer than what I had on my Seiko, better than what I had on my Longines, although bear in mind that was a 10-year-old watch. This feels more solid than all those clasps, but it doesn't change the fact that the RM style one is definitely my favourite. You will notice there is a little bit of play. If I kind of hold that, it's trivial, but it is there, and you don't have that on OEM clasps. But overall, for what you're getting, for what you're paying, I think it's a great clasp. And I will put this on my watch in a moment and just show you that as well. Same kind of strap, but in blue and white. They're just really well made. Really high quality straps, consistent in their construction. Listen to this. Very safe. It's twin trigger release. Yeah, they're just really well made bits of kit. So coming on to comparing it to my Zenith, this strap is £300, right? Just the strap, not the clasp. You can't even buy the clasp from Zenith. Whereas these straps are £109 and these are about 80 quid. So there's a massive price difference, but you can feel a difference. So if I do this again, you can't really hear it. That, and then I say that, but then it sounds the same. But trust me, they are different. This is a softer material. This is kind of shinier. It's still very well done. I don't think... I mean, this is a Cordura effect and this is Sailcloth effect, but they look very, very similar to me. In fact, I'll use the green one. They look very similar to me in terms of effect. The stitching's a little bit finer on the Zenith on the left-hand side. The stitches are a bit smaller. It's definitely a softer strap. The inside, this is a rubber as well. And this feels fine. I haven't got a problem with this. It actually is it's very comfortable, but this is definitely a softer leather on the inside and a softer outer. It's all rubber. They're both equally as water resistant as each other, but I would say this is slightly more comfortable. Also, coming to the side profile, this one, the Zenith one, does have a little bit of bolstering or pillowing or whatever you want to call it, padding up here as well. Not quite as much as this one, but from a comfort perspective, they both took about 2 days to feel comfortable on the wrist. And then when they were molded, absolutely spot on. This starts at 20 millimeters up here and tapers down to 18. This starts at 20 and tapers down to 16. So again, I haven't got an issue with that. If it was 16, I'm going to be honest, with the strap I'm wearing, I would take my Zenith clasp off and put it on there. Because this clasp is absolutely fantastic. And actually, I found out when I had a problem with one of these, Zenith don't make them. But the tolerances on manufacturer clasps are so much tighter than any aftermarket clasp you'll ever have, because they put a lot more money into it. You get ceramic ball bearings. They're just better made. A lot more money goes into them. You can't expect this quality in an aftermarket clasp that costs 60, 70 quid. You just can't. What I do like, and I'd like to start to see on aftermarket straps is this. It's such a simple system. Well, to me, how much it costs to implement, I don't know. But you don't even have to remove the spring bars. You just push it in. I've done this before. And there's a little bar in there, and it moves back, and then you let go and the spring bar sits in between it. It's a fantastic system. It's easy to use. And I imagine aftermarket manufacturers might start doing something similar at some stage. So this is a better strap. It is a more comfortable strap. The materials do feel more premium, but it is almost 3 times the price, very much like the NATO straps. So at 3 times the price, I've got to be honest, it's not 3 times the quality. The clasp is definitely significantly better, but the strap itself, these are phenomenal. The NATO was good. These are phenomenal. I absolutely love it. So I've been wearing my Zenith on a blue one. So I've got this green one from Zenith. I've got an all black one, black stitch, and I've been wearing it on a black Richard Mille style clasp. So what you do is you literally just pull it, you can hear it pop, pull the other side, pops again. And then to put it on, you literally do that side, push that side. Oh, the other keeper's over there now. It's flown away from me. And it goes back on. And I think that looks really smart. Oh, Artem, don't hate me, but I did actually brush the clasp. It was a high polish clasp, which obviously doesn't fit with the aesthetic of my watch. So I did take my 3M Scotch-Brite pad to it and I did brush it. And yeah, it's really, really comfortable and I really like the look of it. The thing I will say, the negative about the spring bars is there you go. You can see right in the top, you can see where, and right there, you can see where you actually pull on the spring bar to get it in and out. That might bug some people, so just be aware of that. You might want the standard spring bars, but you might equally be happy and not care about seeing the spring bar notches there. So overall, I am super happy with it. This is the one I'll be wearing it on the most. I love the combination. I love they're really good. Honestly, I don't wear NATOs as much as straps like this. So my enthusiasm probably wasn't quite as strong for the NATOs. But for me, these types of straps are exactly what I like. I'm quite careful with my watches, as I've mentioned on a number of videos. And the reason I love this Zenith so much is because it's ceramic, it can just take scratches, or doesn't scratch basically. So having a watch that doesn't scratch with a really comfortable sailcloth effect, I don't know what the material is, again, synthetic material, you can take it to work, you can take it on holiday. I'm not going to say bash it about, because that's absolutely not what I would do, but you're far less conscious and aware of it because you're not worried about it picking up scratches. So yeah, fantastic job to Artem for creating this. I'm now just going to put on the green one, which is the loopless style, and then I'll come back to the video. But one other thing I will actually show before I do that is one thing I do actually prefer about the RM style clasp is, I don't like about the Zenith one, is that if you look at the Zenith one on the wrist, you can see these bits here that stick out, which I'm not a fan of. And you can also see the bits down here that stick out that I'm not a fan of. And that's just elements of the clasp. It's these bits here and these bits here. I'm sure they could have made a cleaner design. It's so well made, but having those bits that stick out does kind of detract from it a little bit. So the RM style clasp here is a lot cleaner looking. It doesn't have these extra bits that stick out, and that was definitely worth mentioning. So brownie points for that. Right, let's put this one on and then we'll come back. Okay, so you'll see this is the Omega one. It's a lot more lofty on my wrist because I haven't been wearing it as much. I already have a green strap, so I'll turn to my Zenith one. But again, really easy. It just folds over, clips on. if you like the loopless design, it's a very clean aesthetic. Some people will like this, some people won't. I'm not a huge fan. It may look nicer on dive watches. I prefer the cleaner look of these when they are on the wrist, as opposed to having that excess bit there. Yeah, it's a perfectly nice strap. It looks great. As I say, it's the best third-party clasp I've ever used on a watch. As you can see, it doesn't go with my watch anyway. It's got a black watch and silver clasp, or stainless steel clasp. It's actually a little bit of a chore to put on until you get used to it. So you kind of have to pinch it. Oh gosh, you're going to find out how. And then one side comes out, the other comes out, and then you can kind of wiggle it out. And then to put it on, you push it in, pinch it, one side goes in, other side goes in, job done. So it's not, it did take me a few attempts to get used to that. And then you push it down onto the pin and then you're good to go. But yeah, overall, I've got to say I'm super impressed. The quality of the straps is phenomenal. The quality of the clasps is fantastic for the price. If you're getting them, go for the RM style ones. They are the sleekest. They're super thin. They're really comfy. And it's just a really cool, unique design. Yeah, if you have any questions, please let me know.